Look at the following question. Try it yourself, okay, before you look at my approach. Okay, if you have done so, now look at the video. I want the coefficient of x squared. Alright, I want the coefficient of x squared in this expansion. Notice there is something very different. What is the difference? In binomial theorem, when we want to do our expansion, there will only be two terms in the bracket, but we have three terms in this bracket. That is why in this example, there are two approaches of doing so. Alright, and I'm going to show you two different approaches. Alright, you choose which method is easier for you. As I said, alright, you can have only two terms in the bracket, but there are three terms. So what can we do? Alright, the first method is what I call the factorization method. It means that I can factorize the term inside the bracket. Notice my quadratic equation can be factorized into the two bracket term. This means to say I can write it as the whole term to the power of 10. But if I apply the power 10 to each of the bracket, it can be written this way. Alright, to be very careful, I want the coefficient of x squared. So to play safe, alright, to play safe, it's always good to expand everything up to x squared for each of the bracket term, which I'm going to do so right now. For each of the bracket term with power 10, expand up to the term in x squared. Alright, expand up to the term in x squared. Alright, I have actually skipped some of the intermediate step, but I've shown you the expansion for each of the bracket term of power 10 up to the term in x squared. The reason why I want to expand up to x squared is because we need to check which are the terms that will allow us when expanded to get x squared. So similar to our previous example, alright, we will need to expand all those terms that will allow us to get x squared. In this case, my 1 must be multiplied with an x squared. My x must be multiplied with another x. Alright, there is an error here. I'm going to make the change first. Alright, this is a x. Likewise, okay, my x squared will be multiplied with a constant. So once I multiply all these together, this is what I will obtain. Remember, we want the coefficient, not the term in x squared. So please write the coefficient separately. And there you have it. Alright, this is my method 1. This is when I can factorize the term inside the bracket. Alright, because we can only do binomial expansion with two terms. Now, I'm going to show you method 2. Okay, if factorization doesn't work because not all three terms or quadratic terms can be factorized, we have to make use of substitution method. Because as I said, there must only be two terms. I deliberately make it into two terms. So what do I do? Notice, this is what I'm going to do. 1 plus. So my first term is a number 1. My second term is the bracket term negative 3x plus 2x squared. And this is subjected to a power 10. What do I mean by substitution method? Notice what I'm going to do next. I'm going to let the round bracket term be replaced by the letter P. Alright, so we only need to do my binomial expansion for two terms. Alright, so if I do my expansion for 1 plus P to the power of 10, likewise, I must expand it up to the square term. alright, because I want coefficient of x squared. So let me do the expansion up to p squared first. Alright, I have done my expansion up to p squared. Remember to replace your p with the initial round bracket term right now. Okay, now I will only do those expansion that will allow us to get an x squared. Okay, remember I'll only do those expansion that will allow us to get an x squared. So I'm not going to do anything for 1. Alright, in the second bracket, the 10 must be multiplied to 2x squared to get a 20x squared. Alright, I will need to square the round bracket term. The only term that will allow us to get an x squared is if you approach the a plus b bracket square. Alright, if I square a square, only negative 3x. When you apply to square, it will give us a 9x squared. And the remaining will not be any term in x squared. So I don't have to worry about the remaining terms, because the only term that will give us x squared in that bracket when expanded will be 9x squared. Now, evaluate all the x squared together. Okay, remember we need to write out the coefficient. So my answer is 4 to 5. Okay, I'll need to check back with my previous method to make sure it's consistent. Alright, I notice I make an error here, so I'm going to make the change right now. This is actually 4 to 5 when I sum them up together. Alright, so both answer will give me 4 to 5. Okay, I say again, method 1 is based on factorization method. If you can factorize, if you cannot factorize, you will need to use the substitution method. Alright, personally, method 1 is easier but a bit longer. Method 2 is harder but it works for all questions. Alright, thank you.